Okay, well, welcome Barry. How are you today?
Not too bad, Colin.
Very good. Well, we're just looking at this picture here. It's of you on the right-hand side, slippery as an eel, slipping away from this fellow. Tell us more.
That was up in Horsham. That photo, Colin, I must remind the viewers out there, they used to have a Wimble League show every Sunday morning, 5 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and they used to have the World Sport used to have a big photo of football.
Yeah.
That come on every Sunday morning, that photo.
Oh, okay.
It was there for 3 years.
That was the stock standard photo.
That was the introduction to the Wimble League, and that was me, of course. That's Wayne Farr from Horsham, who wasn't about football. Well, as usual, I was too quick. That photo was taken, I was over there about 2 seconds after that. Kicked the goal.
Slipping around.
But that was a pretty good photo.
I think so. Okay, let's get straight into the game. Firstly, for this qualifying final, what was the weather and any changes?
The weather was pretty good. There was no breeze, a little bit, it was probably 2 or 3 goals in wind advantage, but after quarter time, like last week, the wind went away. It was a perfect day for football.
Okay, so good conditions.
Now, the changes, yes.
Yes, changes.
What I said last week about Stewart and Delisle, I thought they might have come back, didn't come. Didn't eventuate, they couldn't front up. I was talking to Ryan Stewart, he said he could have got a needle, he said too painful, so he's going to be out for a while. I don't think he'll be back to pre-season somewhere or other, but and Paddy O'Neill, he didn't fire up for it, so he was gone, and that might have nearly cost us the game. We lacked that attacking halfback flank. But anyway, they didn't play, and who come in? Where's my little book? I think it was Michael Salem come in and Truly come in because of power for Nolan and Ryan Stewart. So it was that was the only changes going there.
Okay, let's get into the game.
Well, the first quarter probably nearly
I'll give you the scores: 1 for Chelsea to 3 goals, 5 Seaford.
That first quarter was probably nearly the worst first quarter I reckon we've played all year, and it's coming in one of the finals, which wasn't too flash, and got 1 goal. Louis started brilliantly as usual, played a top game, but there's a few players down early doors, and at half time, what was the score?
Half time 1-6 Chelsea to 6 goals, 3 Seaford.
We had 1 goal to half time in the final, and the weather was pretty good. I mean, we just couldn't get it up there. Warner was taking a couple of good marks early doors, but we wasn't kicking very straight either. Peatling missed a couple of early goals, and but 1-6 at half time, and what were they, 5 goals something?
6-3.
A half we should forget, Colin.
Right, so after half time, 4-10 to 9-6.
Well, here we go. It was a good quarter for us, the third quarter. I mean, we've been having good quarters the last 3 or 4 weeks, but we kicked shocking.
4 points, yeah.
How many goals we kicked?
3 goals, 4.
3 goals, 4. I mean, a couple of goals we missed. It was, we just wasn't, I don't think we were switched on, Colin, from the start of the game. It was just, they didn't seem to be with it, and because they were running around like, had their tails up, and what did they finish up kicking that quarter?
9-6, so they kicked 3 goals, 3. So
but it wasn't,
Chelsea just won the quarter.
It was a big improvement
from
the first half. Scotty McLeod started getting the game. He was a bit quite early. Luke Damon got sent off in the second quarter for 15
Was he a bit disappointing? Has he been disappointing in the final?
Well, he's played a lot better before finals, but when he got sent off, I think it was 15 minutes, he pushed some fella over. So it wasn't reported for striking, but then when he came on half time, he put him on the ball. He started to get in a bit of action. Scotty McLeod started to play very well. But the third quarter, if we would have kicked the Luke reasonably straight, we would have been within 2 or 3 goals. We would have been a chance up in the third quarter.
Well, we're looking like a chance, like it was possible to still win 5 goals behind or 4 goals behind. But the final score, 5-16, 46 to 11 goals, 8-74.
Well, the score was it's 21 shots to 19. We got beaten by 5 goals.
6 points in the last quarter.
I mean, it was a very even last quarter. I mean, what did we score in the last quarter?
1-6.
What did they score?
2-2.
Yeah, 3 goals per quarter. I mean, it was a pretty ordinary game. Pretty ordinary game to watch, Colin. I'm telling you now, even though they did beat us by 5 goals. But Langers, Louis, Powley and Damon really come good in the last quarter. Damon started to come good.
Who kicked the goals?
Well, all single goal kickers. There's only Lewis, McLeod and Warner and Damon and Powell. The last quarter, And young Langers, and some of the marks that Pally took in that last World Cup, he took 3 or 4 marks. He's a little marvel, yes?
Little legend. It's going to be a little...
But he wasn't...
After this video, straight after, on the same video, there's going to be a little interview.
A little interview with little Jackson Powell. I got him before the game. It wasn't a good time to get him before the game, but he was quite relaxed.
So it's probably better than after the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, best players.
Best players, not in order as usual. Who we got here? We got Harrison, Unsworth. Unsworth played a fair game in the back line. Maggs played a fair game too. McLeod, Langers, Powell, Damon.
You gave
Damon last half.
The Damon
in the last for his last half, yeah.
Okay.
But
votes.
In the votes.
One vote.
One vote to Jackson Powell. He finished up with about 23 possessions. Harrison for 2 votes. Played an enormous game as usual. About 24, 25. And Louis, at least 30 possessions. 3 votes. Best on the ground by a mile.
Give us the highlights, Barry.
Not too many for Chelsea, on behalf of Chelsea's highlights, but I must mention Jackson Powell at last quarter. Some of those marks he took, he led out brilliantly, and he's only about 5'8" or 5'7". He got a pair of hands like, and he took say 3 or 4 marks at last quarter, brilliant, but he wasn't capitalising on his marking, he wasn't kicked straight.
What about the Seaford? Oh, sorry.
Hang on, I'll just go on Langers, and at last quarter, Langers played an amazing last quarter. He's got courage to burn. He was taking some nice marks under pressure, and overall, at the last quarter, it was probably a good fighting effort by Chelsea to fight back. We could have capitulated and got beaten by 12, but we didn't.
Okay. Any more highlights, or you want to talk about Kraska?
Kraska, he's a marvel. He only kicked 5, he had about 6 kicks, but he's an amazing player. Every time we play him, he's going to be. They might be a rough chance to get into the big last 2.
Okay.
I think they'll be playing. Did you hear who won out of Franks and White?
No, I didn't.
It wasn't in the paper either. I don't know who. But I reckon they got that's Smith, Luke Smith, and Fordham, and they've got some good players. So they might give it a fright.
Well, what about Chappell? How do you rate him? Out of 10,
Chappell,
say. Out of 10.
I reckon Chappell will get 9 out of 10 for his coaching this year. I said earlier in the year, Colin, I wasn't far out my little prognostication about Chelsea what they finished.
You can check that video out.
And they did finish 3rd.
They did.
And I think the next year, all they need now is a couple of big fellas. They need a big ruckman, 6'8" ruckman, another big backman. I reckon but they've got a few players lined up. Got a few players lined up for next year. So he's done a good job, Chappell. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. That's good. Now, tell us about the under-18s and the seconds.
Under-18s had a very good win. They won by 3 or 4 goals, I think. And I know the seconds won by 15 goals or something.
Wow.
So they're going to be playing next week. I don't know what this competition. These people have make these rules up, putting the under-18s before the scene. I cannot believe everyone at the game on Saturday said, "What's going on here?"
Weird.
It's like putting the under-12s on before the AFL.
Weird.
But I don't know. But they're playing next week, so hope the supporters go down there and support them.
Well, we see Louis played an excellent game on the weekend. He's had a fairly good year, don't you think? Did you have any influence on him early doors? Well,
yes, Cole. I'd like to say a few things about Anthony Lewis. I mean, apart from the brilliant game on Saturday, he was way ahead. He was best on the ground by a mile. I can't believe the other players wasn't inspired the way he played. He played a full quarter, nearly 30 possessions, and if he wasn't there, we would have scored. Yeah, I did that. Look, get back to when he first started. I reckon I can remember. I think the first game he played over here, across the road, he got best on the ground that day. His first game, he was only 17. Yeah. But I had a bit to do with Lewis. Actually, I was sponsoring with 3 or 4 years when he first come down here, and well, I didn't have that much money, but not travelling too fast the last few years. But I did, when I had a bit of money, I was putting money into him, and had a fair bit to do with him. I sort of classed him as a good friend. And I've given him a fair bit of advice over the years, and
so maybe you give him some advice that's even more valuable.
I just think he's
more valuable than money.
Well, that's right. Well, money wouldn't be going to him; it would be going to the footy club to pay him. But no, I had a bit of involvement, and I was quite happy to part with my little money. And but over the years, he's just.
What sort of status would you put him in now?
Well, I reckon he's nearly just about legend status now, Colin.
Wow.
Well, he's been there nearly 12, I think it's 11 or 12 seasons, and he's had best and fairest, He'll poll well in this competition, the VFL competition, I'm telling you. Well, I think Harrison will win the
best and fairest?
I think he'll win the local best and fairest, yeah.
Now, you had ratings come out a while ago. You rated the top 6. Is he still in the top 6 players?
Colin, I'm glad you brought that up. I just think that he might have gone to number 1 now.
Number 1?
Number 1. That was 18 months ago, haven't we done that?
So if you were to redo the list today, he'd be number 1.
Well, he deserves it. Gone to number 1. Look, he's had 2 or 3 best and fairest local with his own club, and 2 or 3 with the Peninsula football competition. And he's getting better.
How long do you think he can go for?
Oh, he's got to have 3 or 4 seasons at least. He's only 30, and
can he get to 150 games?
He's nearly 200 now.
Right. Okay.
I think is that
out of those 200, any good?
You could probably count on one hand the ordinary game he's had.
Okay.
I mean, he's had a few injuries, hamstrings, all that stuff. He's just been an ordinary to the game.
Oh, very good.
And all his supporters, including me, Louis.
That's a fair
salute you. That game on Saturday, unbelievable.
Very good. All right, well, that's goodbye from me.
That's goodbye from me.
I'm from the country, mate, Yarrawonga, so I've got some family friends that are from Chelsea that live in Yarrawonga now, so that's what sort of got me down to Chelsea, and just stuck around this year and enjoying the year. So
well, I just wondered how to come to get down here, because it's a fair way from Yarrawonga from Chelsea. Did your relation tell you about Chelsea Footy Club, did they?
No, not really. It was sort of through work. Like they never really were after me at all. I just sort of turned up and played, and I got a job out of it. So like the club just helped me out with a job. So that was one of the main reasons I come down, and they enjoyed it last year and stuck around this year.
So it was sort of spur of the moment, you wasn't sort of planning to come out of Chelsea at all, was it?
No, not really, because I ended up playing round 1 with Yarrawonga back at home, and then sort of told them, look, I'm moving to Melbourne, and just sort of worked out that way, and I was moving to Melbourne with a couple of mates, and that's how it all just panned out.
Oh, so you played one game last year at Yarrawonga, did you?
Yeah.
Well, how'd you get sort of clearance?
Just told them what was going on, and that was sort of...
So there's no drama?
Oh, they didn't really like it, but, it's a bit far to go back to your own, train not train, but play every weekend, and, I just sort of want a bit more relaxed atmosphere and play in Melbourne, which is, I think,
it's a better place down here. But how long was you in Yarrawonga for? Did you play up there for very long in the Yarrawonga footy side or what?
I played juniors there and a year in the seniors, and then went to Bull Ants, and then went back home for a year, and then...
Preston Bull Ants?
Yeah, Bull Ants there for a year, so...
What, under 18s?
No, seniors. I played there when I was 18.
How old are you now?
22.
22, so you've been around a bit for 22 years,
haven't you? Since finishing school, I've been a few places here and there, but that's been good.
Yeah, but how did you go at Yarrawonga? Did you get any best and fairest there?
When I played my first year of seniors, I played half a year in reserves and seniors, and come run up in the reserves best and fairest, and in seniors there was only my first year. So
oh yeah, so this is your first best and fairest you won? Since
no, before I come to Chelsea, in 2009 I played in a premiership team with my brothers at a club called Tungama. And
Tungama?
Yeah, and I won
Tungama.
Won the best and fairest there when I was 20. So.
Did you say you're a bit of an expert in getting best and fairest?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, that's two.
Just like playing my national game and just go out there and play footy.
Well, I mean, you're settling in pretty well here. You know what's going around here, don't you? Like last year, I mean, I said in my little thing last year, most first players that come to play a different new club, very often they win a best and fairest.
Yeah.
Because you've got to get known. I mean, and you've done it last year. That was incredible. I thought you'd go pretty well.
Yeah, no.
I'm one of your biggest fans, mate. No doubt about it. I'm an ex-rover, see? Kicking goals. I want to ask you too, what is your preferred foot?
Preferred foot? I'm a natural left footer.
I don't think you are.
But when I was sort of growing up, I used to guide the ball down more on my right. So I always had confidence in guiding the ball down in my right hand. And over time, just kicking the footy with my whole band. Back in the days, I just got the action right, and by the time I was probably about 12, I could just kick both feet like naturally. So it definitely helps with roving, like in the middle and get out of trouble all the time.
I reckon you kick the ball along the left foot.
Kick the ball along the left foot.
I do.
I'm probably more of a around the corner kick on my left. Right. On my right foot, I can, pretty much...
Yeah, but that's your preferred wrong foot, right? The left foot.
No, the left foot's my preferred foot.
Oh, it is?
Right foot is my preferred.
Well, you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, probably would, yeah.
So anyway, thanks for a little interview. We missed out last week, but all the best for the day and for the We win today. We'll go straight on the grand final. Or preliminary final, won't we?
Yeah, currently, yeah.
Thanks again, mate.
Thanks, that's beautiful.
Good on ya.